Everyone who's here so far. Thank you guys all for coming. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We're going to wait for more people to come in, but just wanted to say hello and welcome to all of you. Like one more minute and then we're going to get started. Okay, let's get started. So thank you guys all for coming. Tonight is our Geek Talk for cohorts 20 and 29. We have 6 different teams that have been working on their final projects over the past month and a half or so, and they'll be presenting tonight. And we also have 2 speakers that came. We have Prasi from Fidelity, and we have Juan from Sprout HR. So we'll also get to hear some insights from them and do a quick Q&A with them as well. And then we'll move into our presentations. But before we do that, I'm going to share this presentation about 4Geeks and who we are as a school and what we really do. So 4Geeks, we're a boot camp. We're located in Brickell in Miami. We have a full stack development program and an artificial intelligence program. We opened in 2015. We now have 10 locations in more than 7 countries. We've graduated over 2,000 students. About 85% of our graduates are finding a job within those first 90 days after graduation. We're already partnered with a variety of different organizations, whether they be hiring partners, event partners, community partners like Refresh Miami and Tech Hub South Florida. And we are one of the top coding boot camps in the world. We were named the best coding bootcamp in 2021 by Premios Excelencia Educativa, pardon my Spanish. We are among the top 30 worldwide bootcamps by SwitchUp. We have an average review of 4.9 stars across all of our platforms, and we are licensed by the U.S. Department of Education. So if you come to school here, you are in good hands. We've been doing this for a while, and our graduates are usually pretty happy. Hi, welcome. So who really are we and what do we do? So our mission is to reduce the unemployment rate by providing tech education and accessibility to our students. So we want to increase the amount of digital talent available for companies to hire. We have about 2,000 graduates, more than 2,000 graduates that have already completed our program. And we achieve our results through our 2 platforms, GeekPal and GeekForce, which we'll get into next. Our students after graduation see an average salary increase of about 22%, so that's great. And about 86% of those students are getting hired within 90 days after graduation. So GeekPal gives unlimited access to our community, to all of our students for the rest of their lives. So this can be via mentorships, it can be via our Slack channel, can be in one-on-one sessions. It's about supporting our graduates through their coding journey and their continued career as a developer. So you never lose access to our community. Even after you graduate, we host events, we host workshops, we have a community of developers in Slack, and you guys always have access to that even after your graduation. So that's really what GeekPal is all about. GeekForce is our other platform. This is our career support track. This is run by Adele Zapata. She is our career support coordinator, and she meets with our students, does one-on-one meetings to help with resume preparation, LinkedIn preparation, mock interviews, basically everything that she can do to help our graduates to land a job. So GeekForce's #1 goal is to help our students get their career to the next level by supporting their career journey and being there to help them whenever they need us. Here are some of the companies that have hired our students. Our students are working in a wide range of companies, more than 400 different companies right now. But here are some of the logos of some of the most notable companies that have hired our graduates. Here are some partners that we're working with: Miami-Dade College, Women Who Code, Miami Blockchain Developers, Skills Fund. So these could be other institutions that we're partnered with, or other financing partners, just more of our partners that our bootcamp works with. And then to welcome our guest speakers tonight, which I briefly introduced before, we have Prasi. She is a senior software engineer and a Scrum Master at Fidelity. And then we also have Juan Molina, who is a lead technical recruiter at Sprout HR. So we're going to get to hear from them next. And then tonight's roster, we have 6 different projects that are presenting. We have In the Money by Nick Robinson, and we'll have Art Z by Sarah. We have Pet Found by Taylor and Diego. We have The New Age by Sariel, Don't Forget by Fajr, and AMTV by Mason and Abraham. Thank you. So let's get started. Give me just one moment. Well, our first speaker, Prasi, actually just ran to the restroom. So why don't we switch the order, and why don't we have Juan speak first? So Juan, you're here at the meeting. If you want to just tell us about you, tell us about your company, and you can have the floor.
Great, thank you. Can everybody hear me there? Excellent. So my name is Juan. I am working for a company called Sprout HR. It's a Canadian company, startup in recruitment, let's say, and they focus only on tech startups in North America. Because of the shortage of engineers that you guys are aware of, everybody is looking into hiring remote and Latin America because of they are on the same time zone as North America. That is the main reason that they are looking to hire Latin American developers. And obviously, there is also a savings, let's say, in the salaries that they can pay because of the difference in the currencies. So my focus has been working with different types of startups and recruiting basically technical talent. Not when I say Latin America, is because that is the focus, but I'm also doing recruitment in North America, in the US and Canada, depending on the client's needs. So what I'm seeing based on some questions that Alisa sent me is like, for example, in 2021, what I saw was an increase in the salaries, 20 or 30% at least from the year before. I saw the opportunity for people who have, let's say, a job at the moment to double their salary, jumping from one company to the other one. But I do have to say that most of the clients that I work for are looking for people that do not jump from job to job very frequently. They prefer developers that have been 1 or 2 years on the same role and that have had the experience to know the technologies, the frameworks, and go deep into the knowledge of that technical part. In terms of the pandemic, for me, I was already remote prior to this, so for me, nothing really has changed. What has changed is the scope of how I look for candidates. Before, I was on demand and a lot of people applied to my roles. Now it's the candidates that are on demand, so I have to go and actively seek the candidates. They are no longer applying, or you guys are no longer applying to job ads on Indeed or Monster or whatever local job board there is. In terms of recommendations for getting a job, which is where I work, I see a lot of posts of developers complaining about recruiters not following up on the applications and all of that. And I just want to say that does happen. Most recruiters are trying to do a good job, but it would be, for me, it would be significant to see also interest from the side of the candidates, because in my experience, I am working with clients that I need obviously to help out, and I need to produce results for them. And producing results means finding candidates that are interested in the job. So showing interest in the job after you have sent the application and you're already communicating with the recruiter, it will be nice for the recruiter, and it would mean a lot in terms of showing how much you're interested in the role. It doesn't mean that you have to send a message every day or anything like that, but just once a week, hey, I'm touching base, checking up, how's it going, what's going on. We are trying to let's say, create a faster recruitment process in terms of educating our clients and telling them not to do so many interviews, so many technical tests, reduce the number. We have been able to be successful with one client and go from receiving the CV to the offer in 1 week. But this has been 1 year of work and only one client and only in one role and only with one candidate, okay? So usually it's 3 weeks. The trends that I'm seeing in the industry is that the the companies are trying to be competitive in terms of the offer that they have and the benefits that they have on a global scale. So they are looking at products like, for example, global healthcare. They're looking at things or perks on top of the salary, because they not all the time they can only offer salary, like paying you maybe relocation for 90 days in a different country, so you can work in a different country for 90 days, and stuff like that. Let's see, the qualifications that I find that hiring managers most often look for, it depends. So some the people I work for are developers like yourselves, and some like people that have a broad exposure to different technologies, frameworks, and different projects, and some are more conservative and they would like someone that has more experience on a single product for a long period of time. It's more like an opinion thing. I guess it would depend on the size of the company, the culture, and the personality of the developer that is hiring, right? And then a good follow-up strategy after applying for a job is, when you don't get feedback from the recruiter, go ahead and touch base again and find out what's happening. Sometimes the recruiter doesn't have the information, but if you push him, he can go and get good feedback for you guys, in terms of really feedback, not a template just saying thank you for applying, you didn't make it this time, but keep applying or whatever. Like, what really happened in the interview? Why did this candidate did not pass the test? I mean, you saw the CV, you thought he was good enough to interview. You should be able to provide more information than just an email template saying sorry you didn't make it. So for me, that's kind of it. I don't know if you guys want to ask me any questions. I'm open to talking to any of you, and also if you guys want to connect on LinkedIn or look at the jobs that we have available, happy to show you and discuss that as well.
Can you share your LinkedIn, Juan, please?
Sure. Elisa, you're on mute.
We can't hear the person speaking. I'm sorry, guys. I think it was muted, but I just said thank you to Juan, and I will introduce our next speaker, Prasi, who's a senior software engineer at Fidelity and also a Scrum Master. So she came here to Miami tonight to speak with you guys. Sorry about that.
All right, we can do this again. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Let me start off by saying congratulations to everyone who went through this bootcamp program. While I may have studied computer science in college, I also went through a coding bootcamp myself one summer right here in Miami, and I absolutely loved the experience. It's kind of an interesting story how I got into coding. In high school, I took a yearbook class and we did a lot of graphic design work. And my teacher noticed that, hey, you're pretty handy with Adobe Illustrator. You're picking it up really fast. You should think about this as a career. So when it came time to choosing majors, I sat down with my dad and we decided to go with a technology related major. And let me tell you, when I first joined, I knew nothing about coding at the time. But the minute I took that initial programming class, I was hooked. The more classes I took, the more I saw that this can be a real career choice. I joined computer clubs on campus. I signed up for internships. I went through a coding boot camp, completed a master's degree. I worked incredibly hard and I put my 100% energy into it. Now, let me tell you, it is not easy to be a woman in software development. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. There have been countless times I questioned myself as to whether I chose the right field. Numerous times I experienced imposter syndrome, and many times where I stopped believing in myself. Finding internships are easy, but finding a job right out of college was really hard. The technical interviews were tough, the stress levels were high, and if I'm being honest, I had no clue what I was doing. But I learned and I overcame that fear. I spent hours watching YouTube videos on how to navigate tech interviews. I spent time reading books such as Cracking the Coding Interview, and I reached out to experienced professionals in the community on how to write an amazing resume. By taking these steps, I was able to land my first job, full-time job in tech. And since then, I've been constantly trying to learn new skills and make myself more marketable. All these experiences have led me to where I am today, a senior software engineer and a technical scrum master for Fidelity Investments. If I asked a younger Prahasi, she would have never thought in her wildest dreams that she had the capability to make an impact in software development. I never thought I would get here, but I did. So here's my advice to each and every one of you. Don't give up. You're going to make it. You're going to face hardships. You will face stress, but keep telling yourself that you can do this because you can. It's never too late to become a developer. And as long as you have the perseverance and motivation, you will make it. So most importantly, just don't ever give up. On that note, congratulations to all of you. And I cannot wait to see all the amazing goals everyone here is going to accomplish in tech. Thank you.
Great job. Awesome. Thank you so much. So now is usually the part when we move into a Q&A session. So I do have some questions, Prasi, but I was wondering if anybody online had any questions that they wanted to ask first.
No, but that was just beautifully said, but that's it.
Yes, great job. Anybody have any questions? Okay, then I'll ask my question. So my first question is, what do you expect from the tech industry in 2022? And do you think Miami will become the next hot tech hub?
Oh, yeah, I can talk about that for hours. Tech is constantly changing our lives, and you can definitely expect a lot from the tech industry in 2022. Cryptocurrencies, blockchain, AI, biotech, apps for almost everything we use every single day. And technology we rely on. I mean, that's definitely keep your eyes out. There's so many startup companies out there and so many amazing products. I do believe Miami will be the next tech hub. I have been trying to tell my family and friends this for like 10 years. No one's ever believed me. And now it's finally happening. We're finally seeing startups coming down. We're finally seeing more companies moving down here. I mean, this is a beautiful state to be in. And so why would companies not? And I really do believe that Silicon Valley better watch out because Miami is coming to take over.
Awesome. So my next question is, what challenges did you face when landing your first job in tech?
Many, many, many challenges. As I mentioned in my speech, I went through so much stress when I was trying to find my first job. I mean, every tech interview was completely different. Like some would be technical, some would be behavioral. I remember one interview was I had to spend a week and build an entire project from start to finish. One interview, I went through 5 different technical rounds. It was crazy. I literally went through a depression spiral, but it took a few months, but I did end up getting the job I want. Well, I got offers throughout the process. It's really important to remember that don't take a job unless you are passionate about the company and you're going to be passionate about the job because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And so while it might be stressful, keep your head up high and just keep interviewing.
Great response. Next question. What advice would you give to women who are starting to learn how to code or enter the field?
So I'm always happy to talk about this because my passions is really encouraging women to learn how to code. I've been involved in a lot of projects in college and through companies where we're really inspiring younger girls to learn how to code. So my advice is take a risk and reach out to someone on LinkedIn. Reach out to a professional woman in the field who, just send them a LinkedIn message saying, hey, I'm looking for advice on how to make my mark in tech. And you'll see a lot of people are really open to talking. And I think for me, it helped me a lot seeing other women in positions of senior software engineers, senior data analysts, and talking to them and seeing what they went through, has really helped me. And I'm still in touch with all my mentors today. I still talk to them on a monthly basis. And I think just having that mentor and having someone to look up to will really, really help.
Thank you. That was also a really great response. Last question, because our students do learn about this in their boot camp, but I know you are a Scrum Master at your job. So can you tell us a little bit about what that is and how it works at your company, and how companies use it to benefit them?
Yeah, sure. So honestly, I didn't really know much about Scrum at a Scrum Master level. I mean, in all the companies I've been a part of, they've used the framework. So Scrum is part of the Agile framework. And it's basically, you have these meetings every day with the team where you go over what you did yesterday, what you're going to do today, and what you plan on completing in the week. You have retrospective sessions at the end of every sprint. Usually most companies, the sprint will be 2 to 3 weeks. So in those 2 to 3 weeks, you're given a list of tasks you have to do or whatever you have to complete for the product, whatever changes. And at the end, you'll have a retrospective where you'll go over what went really well in the sprint, what didn't go well. So these are running all of these ceremonies, it's handled by the Scrum Master. So it's an actual full-time job. I mean, every company, like 90% of companies you'll go into, you will see a team having a Scrum Master. The way I came about it was very voluntary. The way our team works, while we may be a team in Fidelity Investments, we really act as a startup, as our product acts as like a startup team within a corporation. So our Scrum Master is on a voluntary basis. So I'll spend like 70% of my time doing software development and 30% of my time you're running these ceremonies with all the developers, looking at our capacity. So how much work can the developers really complete? Where are we struggling? Having one-on-ones with developers and making sure that they're on track and they have everything they need. So Scrum is a very, very important part of tech. Companies are becoming agile, and I really do hope all of you will read up on it and you will learn about agile. And once you get into the working field, you will see it, but it's definitely very important.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate all your insight. I know our students really benefit from learning about your experiences as they're moving into the tech industry now. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, no problem. If any of you, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always willing to hop on a call and talk to you, and definitely would love to make that connection. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
I have one question. Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead. Ask your question.
I think Norbert was trying to get to this in the chat, but I wanted to know, you said you read the Cracking the Code interview. Did that help any at all with the job process by reading that book?
Yes, 100%. Out of every single programming book I've read, that book is really, really amazing. Especially if you're going to interview for companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple. Those questions, I mean, they pretty much come out of that book. But companies, if you have those technical interviews, you'll see questions like that. I mean, a lot of universities recommend reading the book. A lot of companies recommend reading the book. So I highly recommend if you can. I think there's like used versions you can buy. I don't think it's that expensive. You can buy it on Amazon, but I would highly recommend it. Yes.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions? I'm sorry, we're not at the computer. So if you're asking in the chat and you wouldn't mind asking out loud, or if somebody can read the question, if there's questions in the chat. Okay, cool. So then without further ado, we will start the project presentation. So our first presenter is Nick. He's here on campus with us. So if you guys just could be patient for a minute or two while we get his computer set up to our screen share here, and we'll get started.
Can you hear me? Good. Okay, so my project is called In the Money. With made it with Ivan Menendez, myself, or Carlos Garzon. They're working right now, so they can't join currently. But pretty much it's a crypto trading platform, I guess similar to Coinbase or Robinhood or any others like that. So let's go to the next slide here. That's our team.
I'm sorry, but the lighting is blocking out his presentation.
Oh, she said the lighting is blocking out the presentation.
Fetch, there's a
Is that better?
there's a share screen.
Okay,
You
I
don't
can
need
see it
to
now.
watch on there.
It's good.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
It's
good.
better.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
If you're watching from home, have your blue jeans set so that you're watching the screen share and not just the presenter, because we have it casted here so that the people in person can see it, but we also have it on a screen share so that if you're at home, you can see it very clearly. You might just have to change your blue jeans settings to watch the screen share and not the speaker.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so the reason why we chose this project is because we see blockchain and decentralization as the future, and we just want to be part of it. And so excited, all the three of us, and so we took this project and created In the Money. Technologies that we use: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Chart.js, and Firebase to store the data. We use Chart.js to graph out the cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., to show the data over time, the price over time. So the way it was built, we first started with just the layout, like the user experience, and just trying to make it mobile as friendly as possible. And yeah, so we start with that, getting the layout down, and then the next thing we moved on to is the API, and we decided to go with CoinGecko's API. It's a free API to use, and they have many options. It was extremely easy to use, and so we decided to stick with that one. And we used Firebase to store data for the user and for user authentication, and just for each user, if they buy or sell any coin, it gets stored onto Firebase. So, all right, Coinbase was getting 50,000 new users per day. So clearly there's some kind of a demand for digital currency, and every day we're slowly seeing decentralization becoming more needed than ever. Just a quote from Elon here. The coin structure is very ingenious. The paper money disappears, and cryptocurrencies are a much better way to transfer value than a piece of paper. All right. This is like I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but it's like a little demo of the app, but I'm also going to be going through it as well. So I guess we just go on to the next slide here. Okay, yeah. So the main challenges for us was using Firebase. We haven't used it before. We went through it briefly in class, but we pretty much had to learn it from scratch. How to use Firebase and which methods and all that to use to store data for each user, for user authentication, and yeah, so that was a challenge for us, and also Chart.js because that was also new to us. None of us have ever used a library for charts or anything of the sort. So we ended up using Chart.js, and yeah, so those two were definitely the most difficult. The layout was somewhat relatively easy compared to like back end. But yeah, so just learning how to use Firebase backend was probably the most difficult part. And whoop, oh, 1 second. All right, and yeah, so we're excited as developers. We're looking forward to the future, and yeah, we're excited to start applying for a junior web developer position and just continue learning overall. So yeah, and that is a short presentation of our project so far. Do I go into the app? Okay. All right. All right. So, okay. So this is the homepage. All right, and you can either create an account or you can log in. And the email has to be different, right? The password has to have like the special characters, uppercase, lowercase, confirm it. And if you lose your password, then it brings you to the email to reset the password. But I already have one here, so let me just sign in real quick. 1 second. Okay, so this is the dashboard, the homepage, and it pretty much just has the top 10 coins from the highest in market cap to the least. And you can filter the order by name, symbol, price, volume, market cap, percentage, and we also have a search bar here. So, say if I want Ethereum, I can just type in there, it pops up. All right, and each coin has their own coin page. So we have like the chart for Bitcoin. This is a 24-hour chart. So this is today's chart of how much it has gone up or down. As of now, is down 2.91%, and this chart represents also the 24-hour. It's a 24-hour chart, and we have also the pricing here, all the data here. And we also have over here on this side, we have the trade model. So that's where you buy or you sell, depending on what coin you want. So you can either buy in Bitcoin or you can buy in US dollars, right? So say if I just want, let's just say I want 1 Bitcoin. As of right now, it's 42,000. Or if I want 1.5, then it does the math at the bottom. I can also do US dollars. So if I want like $100 worth, it comes out to down here. So let's just, for example, let's just say we want to buy 1.5. Right, so let's confirm the trade. And go to my portfolio, and I've bought some before. And it has all the data here. So I had Bitcoin earlier when before I came here. So currently I'm down $500, but this is all like the trades. So currently I bought 2 before, 1.5 just now, and I can go back and say if I want Ethereum, and we'll just say 1 for now. All right, let's go back, and it shows the current amount of how much is currently worth, everything combined, and it has the total invested here, profit or loss, So yeah, it just changed. So now I'm only down 386, and the coins here. And let's see. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
Does anybody have any questions about the project?
No, but I love the design.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Thank
That
you.
was honestly
And
really nice.
Amazing,
and
amazing.
forgot to show it's I guess mobile friendly too. So
Mhm.
so I always have like the charts there, and yeah, that's the last thing.
Got it.
Yep. Any questions or?
No, not for me.
All right. Should we go to the next person? All right.
Thank you, Nick. That was a great project in the money. So up next we have, I believe it's Sarah. Yes, Art Z, Sarah. So you can take over.
Okay. Okay. Did you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, my name is Sarah, and 3 months ago, I didn't know what was the framework or write a line of code, and now, thanks to For Geeks Academy, I'm able to do an app like this one. Okay. When I start to think about the project, I decided to do a game because I'm not a gamer, but I love challenge. So I think, what is the most difficult thing that I can do? And I think a game. So I made this game. It's like a 8-bit game about art. What I didn't like the feedback because many people ask why you make some game about art, what is impressionism, and it looks like not a finished game because all the 8-bit games, so 8-bit design. So I design and improve and make arts. Arts is an app that tries to open a door to tiny part of the art history, and it's a responsive app, so you can enjoy it from any kind of device. I love I love art and design, and I think that in many moments of my life, art makes me feel full of joy. So my purpose is that the user experiment that feeling, feed their curiosity or generate question more than answers. One of the hard part of the making this is to see the design and the architecture of the app. So I decided to work with a public API. You see the presentation?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, perfect. I decided to work with the public API of the Art Institute of Chicago. They have one of the most important collection of European and American art in the world, and it's one of the most well done API museum that I researched. And I take for the design, I take the inspiration of all the artwork they have, and I use the tool that I used was Figma, and that is an amazing tool for web designer, and Photoshop and Illustrator to make all the viewer. Okay. This is the architect of the API. So we have I work with Flux architecture, and I go to the next. This is the tools that I use for the language, the frameworks, and the tools. And I show them. I show the app. Here you have the app. We have three parts. We have the collection, the game, and the profile. the collection you can consult without login or make a user profile, but we are going to do a user profile to enjoy all the app. So we are going to create a profile. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. Just a moment. I don't want to. Okay, here we are. We are in the game. So in the first part is the collection. So you have like the most important period of art. You have Renaissance, abstract, cubist, and in all the part you can choose. And then you have like a brief description of the period, the art period that you can consult, and then you can go to each artwork that have the museum in this period. And you can choose to put in favorites. They're going to store in your profile. It was in here. And also you can consult the artwork, the artist, and the year. So we are going to try in here, and you go directly to the museum, and you can see all the biography of the author, and you can see the artwork that the museum have from that author. The same thing with the year. You consult the year, and you see all the artworks that made that exactly year. So you can go back, and it's the same thing in all the periods, no, the different periods. Here you have. We can go to the home page, and you can go to the game. This is the game. Okay, you have we have 4 questions. We have the years, and for example, if like this, next, okay, and then you can also ask for more information. You have like a card with all the information. You can add the favorite too. And here you have reflected. You can remove or add to favorite, and you keep all that information in your profile. And then quick, okay, yes, I'm sure. And you go to your profile. And your profile, you will have all your favorite artworks that you can consult, and you can take up from the profile. And here is your username and your score. Okay. Can log out in here, and you start again. And you can also consult the collection without login. So you can use it like an encyclopedia or some like that. Okay. The challenges, a lot, a lot of challenges. One of the challenges was to work with an API that uses Elasticsearch. So because I want to make like accurate search of the artwork, I only use artwork, not a sculpture or no photography. I only use like pintura, painting. So it was really hard, this part. And also make the image, because I work with a lot of image and all have different size and aspiration. So it was really hard to make that to function, and design a responsive API that you can a responsive app that you can use on desktop and in iPad or mobile was really hard, because all the structure of the layout, it was time consuming. Okay. And it's the end. Thank you so much for Geeks Academy. Special thanks to Colby and Ernesto. They were amazing teacher, and all my classmates that I really miss them. And a special thanks to my husband, that he was my best partner. He was like my third teacher in this journey. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Sarah. Great job. We love that
Thanks.
project. Does anybody have any questions for Sarah? Okay, well, if there's no questions, then we'll move right into the next presentation. So up next we have Pet Found with Taylor and Diego.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so our app is called the Lost Pets app, with Diego and me. We're here to help you find your lost pets. Check us out now. Diego?
So yeah, I'm Diego Silva, so originally from Brazil. So I was working as an Uber and Lyft driver between the class that I just started learning the whole things of the coding. So for now, I am pretty much excited to get a new job in a position and jump in this new world, like to coding and developing something page or app or whatever. And the hobby that I have, it is cooking and taking road trips. This is the most things that I like it. And I really decided to start a full stack with Fargate because one friend of mine, he's very, very close with me. He just get his graduate from Fargeeks, and he just sent me a message, and man, you have to check these guys. So they are amazing. So you can learn new things because I'm just getting a new job right now, and you definitely have to check. And here we are, just trying to get my graduate for now.
Thanks, Diego. My name's Taylor. I'm 28, so I have some plentiful past work experience. Some of them include working as a terrazzo finisher for Carpenters Union, which is what the picture is of. It's a specialty floor finish. I'm also an Airbnb host, which actually helped me decide I wanted to be a developer. I've hosted a lot of different developers throughout the years, and they seem like they have the best jobs. That's why I wanted to do a coding bootcamp. My hobbies, I like to cook like Diego, especially pork. Pork is probably my favorite food to cook. I like to write stuff, and I like to play basketball. I like sports, even though it's for dumb people. Why I went to 4Geeks is I just like the price point, and actually one of the other past jobs I had was a trainee for this software company called Retrospective, and they wanted me to build this Java product in a very short amount of time, and I just wasn't able to do it, so I had to quit there, and I decided that I needed to go to boot camp. And I looked at all the boot camps, and I decided that 4Geeks was the best one because they have a lot of influence, I think, in different countries, and that's something that's really cool that I think with the software industry is people work all over the world, and they had a great price point. Why lost pets? In case you guys can't see around you, everyone has a pet. Everyone loves pets. But more importantly, the people that don't love pets are too scared to admit it, so they have to say that they like pets. So everyone would like our products because it has to do with pets. Why would this app be useful for you? Well, it's an app that involves posting lost pets to an application. So other people besides you can help you find the pet that you recently lost. So it would be useful if you wanted to find a pet, and it would also be useful to you if you wanted to enlist other people's help in finding your lost pet. it could be useful to you if you wanted to play like a real version of Pokemon Go and wanted to find like a pet in real life instead of sharing your data with China. And if you want to adopt a pet that has been lost instead of obtaining a pet at a local shelter, there's much less paperwork that has to do with that than going to a shelter and filing all this stuff to actually adopt a pet. How is this application coded? Obviously, we use HTML, CSS. Our third-party API integration was the SendGrid using a confirmation email service that Diego will demonstrate. And of course, we had JavaScript and Python that we had lots of help with. And we also tried to use as much React components as possible to make everything more succinct in the coding. And without any more waiting, Diego will have our demo, and please enjoy it. I will stop sharing my screen. Diego, I think you're on mute.
Oh yeah, so you guys can check my screen now. It is working.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. So this basically is the home page. So when we put the API out, so this will be the way that the user gonna check the home page. So this is the cards that about each pet that somebody just posted, and you can check about this pet. And if you just missed your pet and maybe so you see, oh, this is my pet, so somebody else just found my pet, so you can check the code where your pet should be, and you can click on this is my pet, and automatically the app will send a message to the owner of the post, like saying, oh, my name is Diego, so probably this is my pet, this is my information, and can you try contact me when you get a chance? So this whole information you will be sent by using the login information. The owner of the pet, really, the owner that the pet message just have to create, you know. So let's go to the create one user right here, so you guys can see how basically this will work. So this is basically one single form. So the API that Taylor just spoke about, the API will send the confirmation just saying like, oh, your user was created successfully, so has been created successfully. I don't know why in my end it's not working right now, but that's basically the way that the API will be work. So when I have my user create, I can click on login, and I can read from here. And I can submit a new pet info. So this is the form that I have to use to post pet information. So I can put right here, right, the gender of the pet, if they have a microchip or if they don't. So put one here, the date that I found. So basically, this is the information that you have to complete to send the form. I mean, as much as information that you have, and you can put right here in the form, can help us to to figure out exactly and try find the owner of the pet. So we can choose the picture. If you already take a picture about the pet, so you can do upload right here. I have one pet right here. So as a post, the pet will show with the information. And by the way, the user, like who create the posts. So you can check the post that you have, and you can delete, like, for example, if somebody else just found the pet, so you can just choose the post that you have and you can delete that. I don't know why that function is not working on my end right now. It wasn't working this morning, but I don't know, just crashing. So, but basically, this is the way that app will work on the future. I hope so. If you guys have any question, I don't know if you...
Um,
Some of the challenges that we had were GitHub merging and conflicts. That was probably the number one. Just screwing up the workflow with, I guess, merging when we should have fetched before. Also, learning how to test endpoints in Insomnia personally for me was one of the challenges. I just didn't really use Insomnia that much after we had our lesson about it, and so I just didn't really practice it enough. But finally got with Thomas and Brandon Creed, and together we tested endpoints in Insomnia, and I learned how to use it. Failing to fetch seemed to be the most common error that I had when I opened up my live server. And also, last challenge was naming functions and remembering those names. Whenever I got with Ernesto or Tomas or Abreu, it always seemed to be like a name of a function that I forgot to type exactly, letter for letter. That was the problem. Special thank yous, Tomas Gonzalez. Of course, public support, that guy's always on there to help. This guy Abreu W. When I was building the Star Wars app, I got with him and we had a thread that was like 90 comments. That guy's the dog and he really helped me out. I appreciate him a lot. Ernesto Freire, of course, he's our instructor. Thank you so much for him. And Carla Cuevas, our TA. And I think that's all.
Great job, guys. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Taylor and Diego?
not for me.
You guys really improved that app a lot really fast, so you guys did a really nice job. All right, who's up next? We have Sariel and the New Age.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Everybody can hear me? Good. All right, perfect. Guys, well, hope you're all doing fine. Thank you, 4Geeks, for putting this up. Let's demonstrate. All right, let me see. Well, you guys can see my screen. All right, so basically, my website's name is going to be The New Age. This was made possible by my instructor, Ernesto Freire, and by myself. He helped me out a lot throughout the application. A million thanks to him. Can you guys see?
No, Sariel, you can't see.
What about now? Oh, no, never mind. Hold on. Let me go here. I'm used to what you call it right here. I'm used to the Butter app, the other app we're using.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, now you can see, right?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So as I was saying, my website's name's The New Age. It was made possible by myself and my instructor Ernesto Freire. Let's get started. All right, so basically my website, The New Age, is gonna allow users create their own NFTs, their own collections, and then it's gonna allow them to mint their NFT in OpenSea. They will also be able to get more informed on what's going on in the NFT world and, basically have an insight on what are NFTs. If you don't know what an NFT and you're wondering what an NFT is and how it's helpful, it's basically, the basic definition is a non-refundable token, right? Basically a picture with an ID that you sell it for tons of money, right? The market for the NFT grew over 18,000% last year. In my personal opinion, is a huge investment opportunity. People should get on it right away. 100%. The technology used for my project was, for the outline, I used Notion SO, which was useful to create user stories. You write everything down, right? The button I was gonna use, what this site was gonna have, everything else. Our instructor was really on point on having everything written down before going into the signing or into the web page, which it helped a lot. For the wireframe, I used Boss to make iCloud. That helped with the design a little bit and the basic layout of the web page, how it was gonna be. The backend, I used Python, SQL Alchemy, Flask, and Solidity was used to create the smart contracts for the minting NFTs. The front end, I used React, JavaScript, SWR for fetching data, and CSS for the design. Let me go right here. Okay, show your website. So the website is this. Is the new age. Has the first section. It's gonna explain to you a little bit about NFTs. It has a video you can watch, a really useful video if you're not sure what NFTs are. Second part, these are most of the top trending NFTs right now. They're worth thousands of dollars, insane amount. The main functionality happens right here when you hit create NFT collection. Takes you to this screen. Basically here, you create your collection, you put your name, your description. Let's do that right now. Let's have this NFT Asuki collections. Put Asuki. That's one of the collections I'm most interested in. Just put ninjas. Right. All right, here you choose file, you choose the image. Choose this one. That's one. You upload it. Hope everything goes well. It goes well. We're gonna put Asuki number one. Asuki number one. Description. Board guy. Board. Bandana. All right, we're gonna, and this is the quantity. We're gonna have create 3 of those. Let's just add one more for good measure. Right here. Three. Let's just put pink hair. Nice. We're gonna create 4. All right, for minting, when you hit the minting button, it will connect you to MetaMask. Normally, you have to sign up and create a MetaMask application, but once you sign up, it's really easy. You just click sign up, it will give you, create your password, your username, and it will give you a phrase that you have to keep down. But once you sign up, it stays on your browser forever, so that's why I can't show you the sign up page. So this is signed in already, so once you hit the minting button, it will connect you to the MetaMask application. This is going to be your contract. This will be your normal fee if you mint it into the actual OpenSea. We're doing this on the testnet, so it will be free, or else it will be, I think, around $700. All right, we're gonna hit confirm. And right now, it's minting, it's connecting to the OpenSea server. And once it's minted and the pictures are in the OpenSea, it should tell us about a few seconds. There you go. Collection was minted on testnet. Here we have a link to see the actual NFT on the OpenSea. We go here, refresh the page. Oh, it's not showing. Let's go. Maybe if we go here. All right. Well, the last 2 didn't show, but that's all right. I did this too for last before going into the video. Make sure it worked. So this is basically the other 2. It probably didn't work because I had the same name. But this is basically, it shows on the OpenSea. This is the description. You create the number 1 Asuki. Basically, once it's over here, you can put the price on it. You can do whatever you want. Anything, sky's the limit. So let me go back to this, the PowerPoint. My challenges, for some reason, when the word challenges popped into my mind, the endpoints, you know, came up to in my head because I always had issues. My instructor always told me, "Hey, this is not working. Hey, can check your endpoint." There was always something I had to fix on the endpoint. If it was either querying data or variable was not serializable, something was always wrong. That was really challenging, but it was worth it. I learned a lot throughout the steps. The future, of course, I would love to get an apprenticeship or an entry level job if possible. That would be amazing. Uh, I'll be keep on building amazing projects. Of course, that's my main goal. Learn every day, be strong of my current skills, and learn new ones. That will be the ideal goal for the upcoming future. I want to give a special thanks to 4Geek for making this happen. Thank you to all the mentors that helped me out. Thank you to the 4Geek support team. They're really helpful. And I want to give a special thanks to my instructor Ernesto. Without without him, this is not possible. He helped me a lot. He just didn't help me write application. He taught me key effective techniques, that are effective on the development world, like the syntax, how to be organized, how to be effective. He's a really good guy, good person overall, and a good instructor. And I thank him for that. And that's it. That's the conclusion of the project. Thank you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free. Let's go here. Stop sharing. Find you guys now.
Great project, Sariel.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
guys.
another great project. Great job, Sariel. Does anybody have any
Yeah.
questions for him?
How long did it take?
Oh, we have a question here on campus.
I was just kind of curious how was to learn Solidity, if it was similar to any other language, or how'd that go?
It was challenge, of course. My professor was heavy on the Solidity side, but he taught me some key facts. But basically, it's not that hard if you actually invest your time in it. Like from what I saw, it was pretty close to JavaScript in some ways. You had some for loops there, here and then naming variables. Not much, not much. But yeah.
There's another question here from campus.
Yeah, great job. I was wondering what the next step is for your project. I mean, obviously you said your career goals, but the actual project itself, like, would this be like, it looked like anime type figure? So would this be like unlocking like token gating, like a comic book, like an anime series, or what would the actual use cases NFTs be, and how would you create that using your JavaScript skills that you just learned?
Great question, brother. I thought about this before going into the project. I mean, into the presentation. So that collection you saw, it was one of my favorite because, like you said, yeah, it's anime based. It's a collection ongoing. But basically, for my next steps in the project, I kind of want to make. It came into my mind like a blog site, more or less. So like us NFT nerds could like talk and just see what's going on in the future. What would be a good investment right now? I would like to make well, a community. That's the word I'm looking for. That's where I think I should be heading. Maybe a community for artists, a community for developers. All around. Sky's the limit, but that's where I'm going at. hmm Good question.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I was just asking how long did that take?
Well, it took the whole. I don't know how much was it. What, a month or since we started going? Oof. It's because the functionality, the backside of it, the back end of it was insane to me. I came into this project thinking, oh, it's a piece of cake. I wrote everything down. Well, you probably experience, all of you experience it, errors. You think something's gonna work and then error, and like, oh, what is this there? And then you have to Google it, and like I had to reach to somebody, a mentor, like, hey, what's going on with this? But yeah, It took,
Okay, thank you.
it took the whole time. Yeah. Thank you.
Got it.
Yeah, Dio, of course, for sure. That's a good idea.
All right. Well, Fadra, you don't have to mute yourself because you're up next.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Let me see. Let me go ahead and share. Can everybody see?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So my app's name is Don't Forget. And what this app does is when a person's birthday arrives, you can choose to send money, but in cryptocurrency, and birthday cards for when the birthday arrives. So the process for making this app, I first started off with the login and sign up, and I created a form to get that birthday and that person's name. And then I displayed the information and requested the data so I can send an alert for when that person's birthday arrives, which is like the main part of that. The languages that I use were HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap for the front end. And then for the back end, which was a crucial part, was React, Flux, Python, Flask, and SQL Alchemy. So with that said, let me go ahead and show you the app. This is the home page, so you can see the things that you can do, which is send a card and make a payment. I'll head over to the sign up page. I'll put in my name. Just pin Wendy because I already have my name in here before. Click register. I'll put in my email and I'll put in the password. Once I log in, it will take me to the dashboard. And you can see here that you have two options. You can add a birthday and you can view a birthday. So right now we're going to add a birthday. And I'll put in a name, so let's add Tim. And I'll put in today's date, so let's just pretend that the person's birthday is today. And I'll click add. And if I head over to view birthday, you can see that the person's name is here. And if I head over here, I should get an alert. So it usually takes a few seconds for that alert to send. So while that we're waiting for that to send, I'll go over some of the challenges. So like the person before me said, there's always something with the code. So originally to send the emails, I use a library. It's called SMTP library to send an email. And I took a quick break because it took a while to get that whole thing to work. So I took a break. It was like a 3-day break. I came back and when I tried the program again, I was getting a network OS error. So I was wondering, why am I getting this error? So I scoured the internet for some type of solution to fix this, and there was like no solution for it. The only solution was to switch from Python to Django, and I didn't want to have to start my whole learning process because the presentation date was coming up too. So to fix that solution, Ernesto told me that I would have to use an API, and I think the other presentationers said that they used the SendGrid, so I used the SendGrid API in order to make sure that my emails would go ahead and send. So that was one of the things I used in order to get the SendGrid send. Let's see, why isn't this taking so long? Give it a few more seconds. Let me see. Let's see what's another challenge was the date time schedule. To send the emails based on the Python date, it took me a while to figure that out. Tomas told me that I would have to loop through the dates in order to be able to actually send the email based on the date time. So that's what I did in order to get the email correctly. Let me see. Give me just a second, guys. Oh no. Okay. It's the Python date time is has switched date, so it, for some reason it likes to choose a late date. So I'll have to add the birthday as February 12th. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's pretend that the birthday is February 12th. I'll click add. Adding poison. Okay, so let me wait a few more seconds for it to send. It should send this. Sorry about that. Okay, here it is. So based on the today's date, it's gonna give you the birthday alert. So it says it's somebody's birthday, log on to send card. You can go back to the page and you can choose the card that you want to send to that person's email. So I'll put mine for now, and I can choose a card. I can click. And if I go back, the email is gonna show up. It doesn't take this long for this to show up, so in a few seconds. Okay, here it is. So I'm clicking on it. Let me show you what it shows. So it sends the exact that you chose one on the app. So it says happy birthday, and you get a fun little code. And lastly, you can choose to send a payment. So like the one before me, they use MetaMask, and I also use MetaMask for this case. So you can choose to send Ethereum, the cryptocurrency, to the person's whose birthday it is. So I'll click pay now. And you'll get the pop-up. I don't have to go through all this since the person already explained it for me, so I'll just wait for it to load. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and confirm the amount to send and the gas fee. Taking a little while to load. Okay, loading. Okay, now you're going to see that you get recipient ID, which is a good thing. And I want to show you that you see that it's sent to another person's wallet. So I'm going to show you that it was a success. I'll give it 1 second for it to load. And it says pending. And now it says sent, so it says transaction confirmed. We'll go to the Wamston test networks, so you can see that the transaction says it was a success. That's it for the app. Let me go back to the presentation, and I want to tell you about the next feature. So the next feature I would want to add is like a send flowers feature. So that person's birthday arrived, you can choose to send flowers to that person. That would be my main objective if I was to continue working on that. And lastly, I wanted to say my thank yous to all my classmates. So that was to Sarah, and you saw with the app how creative it was. That's my favorite part of her project. And also Maz, Joel, and everyone else. It was such a pleasure working with my classmates. They were the best classmates ever that I could ask for. And also my teachers, Colby, Christian, and also Michael Martinez. He was able to get me on the right track to creating my app. So thank you. And that's it.
Great job, Faj.
Thank you, Abraham.
Great job, Badger. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, we have one here on campus.
So, is it Wendy or is that your name? Badger. Okay, I saw Wendy when you're typing in your. Oh, Wendy was
No,
the
no,
recipient.
okay,
Oh,
no, I already have Bodge in my database, so I couldn't use it again.
So yeah, great project. So wondering your design decisions, like for the user journey, like, or is this going to be maybe perhaps on the next version? But why did you choose direct cryptocurrency and separate JPEGs for the birthday messages as opposed to an NFT that combines the two?
Well, that's a good question. NFTs, I have a classmate, Joel, who's really into NFTs, but as far as getting on the NFT train, I'm a total noob at that. So I didn't even know what an NFT was before I joined this class. So I chose to choose stuff that I was comfortable with and sending JPEGs or something that I was comfortable with. So, and another thing was the project time to get our projects done. It was going to take long, so I did not want to go into anything new and have the risk of creating too many errors or, let me say, problems before I could get it to work. If that answers your question.
Any other questions? Anybody here on campus or online? All right, then we're going to move into the last presentation of the night. Maz and Abraham with AMTV Entertainment.
Sure. Hey guys, how you doing?
Can you guys see my
Okay.
screen?
I can see.
the presentation.
Nope.
And we can't see the presentation, we're seeing something else. Like a play audio or something.
Okay, there you go. You can see it. Okay, guys. So hi, I'm Abraham. It's just been a couple days. Um, uh, how do we start this? So pretty much, I always wanted to learn how to code since I was a little kid. It's always been like one of those things you do when you're a little kid. You have like something you always wanted to do. This was my thing. I'm originally from Venezuela. I've been living here in the States for like 7 years, something like that. I live right now in Miami. The reason pretty much I got into coding was because one of my friends he has great ideas, and a way to follow those ideas was through code. He went through a boot camp here in the Forgis Academy, and he recommended it to me. He told me that it was very intuitive and it was pretty much like a really good start point for like future goals and anything like that. When we started this, I was completely like noob. Like I knew something about computers, but like code was not for me. Like it was crazy just to think of doing lines and stuff like that. It was just I remember when I started, I couldn't even like do like the git push. I was so confused with the URLs. But even it's crazy sometimes how you learn. Kobe, our teacher at the time, he was really good at it. And he like teaches to like learn to read the code and then slowly went on to better things, and like you slowly but surely we started understanding. So we went pretty much to it. It was really quick. I felt like it was just like that. Time goes flying. So when we decided to do our project, since first Maz and Maz is, you know, my Maz is my friend. He's my partner on the project as well. And since we both like movies, we just decided to go with like a very casual like movie database that could show you information about a movie, and then pretty much see in a very simple way, it's a full responsive app, um some trailers of upcoming movies or current movies, uh, pretty much based on a query. uh yeah, go ahead.
So let me first introduce myself to everyone. My name is Mazen, and I hope you guys are doing good today. Uh, I'm originally from Alexandria, Egypt, and I live now in Miami. I'm currently working as a technical specialist at Apple. Growing up, I was always passionate about technology and how it's changing our world, and I always wanted to be part of that. I always wanted to be that specific person that will find a solution for something. And I always found that everything that we find a solution for was based off programming, and so this is why I was really interested into getting into that. So for the past 2 years, on and off, I've been trying to learn how to code on my own, but I always had a difficult time um, to being consistent, especially with working like a full-time job and with life in general, till I actually had the opportunity to join 4Geeks. And after reaching out to like a lot of people on social media and getting their advice, so I eventually decided to join, and it definitely helped me a lot with staying more consistent and more committed to learning and growing my skills. I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had with 4Geeks, and I really can't wait till I get the chance to work on more projects, develop more skills, and fall in love even more with technology. Um, but with that being said, we're gonna be we yeah since like Abraham mentioned, we're both like enthusiasts, so we decided to design or develop AMTV, which is a movie database web application that will allow the users to view details and trailers for any specific movie, as well as some cool features that we're planning to add on. For example, a favorite page where the user can find all the movies that they favored. Not only that, but we also want to develop a code that will recommend movies based on like the user's favorite genre or actor. Um, so this slide is just showing what we want to do, what it does, and what we want to do in the future for the app. For the next slide, um, if Abraham want to talk a little bit about the process.
Okay, so for the process, it was I'd say it started smooth and then it got bumpy. Like the image shows, it was pretty much like that. So we started pretty much with the general idea. After that, we tried making some mockups to see how the app would look. After that, we went for like if I were a user, like user stories. That's how it was introduced. But we were more like if I was a user, what could I do in that app? What I want to do in like a movie trailer app kind of thing. Uh, After those mockups, we went and started with the front end. Uh, we started doing pretty much the components. Uh, then we went on pages. So how many pages would we have, um, and how would that look on it? Um, After that, we went with the backend. The backend was definitely the most thing. Like, well, not definitely the most thing, but it's weird how it's challenging yet simple.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So with the technologies we use React.js for the front end. We use CSS, HTML. For the back end, we use Python. We use SQL Alchemy. We use JWT for the authentication for the user. Uh, I'd say if I had to do it again, I would definitely work again on the on the time management. Um, so let me show you
Yes.
pretty much the app before we go to the challenges, because there's quite a few of them.
So yeah, like I said, guys, like we're still actually trying to develop more into this app. This is what we currently have for the app, and this is how it looks.
Sorry, I don't know if you can see my screen
Oh,
right now.
no.
Yes, we can see it.
Hopefully,
I can see.
hopefully, I can see.
Okay, so we have the login, the sign-in page. Yeah, so the user would have to sign in order to use the app. You can sign up over here. The full name would be used like for a query, then the username and the password to log in. So I already have one. I'll just do this. And then you can go pretty much to the app. It's fully responsive. You can. It actually looks pretty cool on your phone. Uh, the all movies are being are created by an API, an external API. Uh, the API is a little complicated to use, but it is very extensive. We are currently working on in a like a selection software, so we could recommend movies based on what the user has watched and what he likes, so like what he favorites. The app itself is pretty simple at the moment. We have like originals, we have trending. It's very like similar to Netflix kind of thing, like action movies, comedy. You can go and click on a movie and then it'll like give you a trailer. Uh, there's actually multiple movies. So there's way too many of them. But uh, our point was to make that software so for the user more like the app itself. But sadly, it wasn't like we weren't able to finish it on time. What I would recommend is like on the challenges. Let me go back to the
Yeah, it definitely like our
back.
vision was definitely bigger.
It was
like
very wide.
very
We should
wide.
have
Yeah.
compact more. What I would do different for sure is on the API, the movie ID. I wouldn't recommend it because this is like one of the challenges I faced. It's very hard to request information from that API specifically. I was about to change it a couple times. I don't know if you can like just show the presentation again, man. Sorry. On that API, it's you have to, for example, to do the favorites and that like user selected movies, we will have to append links multiple times. So that was a little bit of a challenge. For the trailer as well, the movie gives you a lot of information, yet you have to request it very specifically. Um, uh,
I recommend you the Elasticsearch, the thing that I use for the.
yeah, I was gonna use that one, but a little late. And then after that, we went for like I say the user selected movies, uh, but it wasn't able to finish on time. Uh, so I do want to keep working on it, but it's still gonna need a little more time. The favorites, the ratings, everything needs to be still implemented. It's a little crazy how it goes. Uh, and possibly watch like a full movie someday. Uh, I just want to make an app that it's gonna be like a base of like one of my first actual projects. And for me as an individual, I pretty much just want to learn like like a junior full stack development job and live my life as a developer.
And for me, as well, like everyone, I hope that I can land an entry level full stack developer soon. I would say that I'm actually like really interested in becoming a Python backend developer. So that's what I'm going to be focusing in the next few months in developing and getting more skills into this area. So hopefully this goes well. And yeah, next, we just want to say thank you to 4Geeks for giving us this opportunity, and for the guidance, for the support that they've given us. And we for sure want to thank Thomas. He was always there for us 24/7. Anytime we hit him up, like he was there for us. He helped us a lot. Faj, actually, she's one of the classmates, and she's been like a huge, tremendous help since the beginning. She actually helped us a lot to start our project. She was always asking if you guys need any help, any support. So we really appreciate that. Also, Christian, he's not on this call, but he also was there for us in the beginning, and he helped us also start the project. Last but not least, I want to thank ourselves for not giving up, and for just like committing to finishing what we can from the project for now. And yeah, and that's all. Thank you, guys.
Okay, great job, guys.
Great job, guys. Anybody have any questions for AMTV? All right, well, that concludes our project presentations. Congratulations, guys. You did a great job. So what happens now? So now, first of all, it's the weekend and you guys are done. So congratulations, and kick back, relax, and enjoy your weekend. You guys came a super long way. You should be very proud of yourselves. You hit that end mark. You finished what you started. And look at you guys now. You're going to go out into the world and get a job as a junior developer now. Next week, after you guys enjoy your weekend, we start your second boot camp, which is your career support boot camp. So if Adele hasn't reached out to you guys yet, which I believe she has, she will be reaching out with you guys. She'll start helping you guys with your resume preparation, with your LinkedIn, doing mock interviews. So make sure that you answer her when she reaches out to you. And let's see if in the next 90 days we can get you guys a job. But congratulations, you guys did it.
Thank you.
Does anybody here on campus have anything to say or want to add anything? Or anybody online have anything to say? All right, well, that concludes our night. So I know I said it many times, but congratulations, guys, and great job. And I hope you guys all enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I miss you so much.
I know you guys. I hope you all get the job you want.
Yeah, see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.